Are you?
What's up guys, it's me, your boy Dragon Masters 525 aka Keon, and I'm coming at you with a new top 10 shiny Pokemon video. We haven't done these videos in such a long time, so I'm excited to bring you my newest shiny Pokemon video. So without further ado, let's get into this video. Number 10. The Phasmophobia line is probably one of the coolest Pokemon shinies in my opinion. Debuting back in black and white, the line sports this peach yellow orange color instead of the standard blue for its accents, while being a more muted orange upon evolving into Phasmophobia, as well as sporting a turquoise-esque skin versus the darker blue. Each piece of this evolutionary line is visually and really aesthetic in its own right, and personally I think it's a Pokemon that's worth shiny hunting, honestly. Even though I haven't had much experience in black and white, but with appearances in other future games like Sun and Moon or even Sword and Shield, that seeing it is always such a pleasure, and that's why I put it into the number 10 spot for this list. Number 9. Next up on the number 9 spot is one of my favorite Gen 5 shinies, and it's Cottonee and Whimsicott. What I really like about this two-stage line is that the Cottonee has its leaves and eyes reversed, so instead of it being green leaves with orange eyes, it's orange leaves with green eyes. On top of that, Whimsicott has blue for its little plant horns instead of the normal green, on top of having a darker black body with a more cotton appearance in terms of having a white color instead of that muted grass color. I really enjoy these Pokemon, and I've hunted for both, yielding some good results. If you're looking for a good supportive Pokemon but also want a good shiny for your team, definitely check out Whimsicott and Cottonee. You won't regret it. Number 8. One of the coolest Pokemon to ever come out of Generation 5, I think, would definitely have to be Zora and Zoroark. I think this Pokemon is pretty iconic because of the movie, and I want to say so many people wanted Zoroark back then. With it being more common in newer generations like Scarlet and Violet or even Sword and Shield and Legends of Arceus, this Pokemon has a baller shiny, and it looks good as a shiny as well. Zora is a blue color instead of its standard red, and for Zoroark it switches out its red for this purple blue-esque color. It's nothing too crazy, but I do think that the change just gives it a whole nother aesthetic. If you want a shiny Pokemon that's a little bit rare, I definitely suggest hunting Zora and Zoroark. It's super worth, and it's really gratifying once you capture it. Number 7. The shiny Vanillix line is such a super cool, good Pokemon line, even though it doesn't have a striking, chromatic color scheme like any other shiny Pokemon. I still fondly enjoy it due to the hue shift and this almost purple-esque filter over it, and I use that loosely. What's cool is that Vanillite has this pink color, and if you guys seen some of my other shiny videos, I really love pink shiny Pokemon. When Vanillite evolves into Vanillish and then Vanillix, then it gets that almost light blue purple color that's really smooths out and like really looks really sick. This is one of my favorite Pokemon to use in battle, and honestly I think I'm really happy with how the shiny version looks. I feel like for the shiny Pokemon, a good chunk of them are really bad, but this one is baller and honestly made it onto my list. But it's definitely a Pokemon worth hunting though, in my opinion. 100%. It's just so gratifying to get it, and also even though it's not that striking in terms of a shiny, like it's still really cool to have. Number 6. On the number 6 spot on this shiny Generation 5 list is Foongus and Amoonguss. If anyone has ever played competitive Pokemon, then you guys all know how fearsome and scary Amoonguss is with access to Rage Powder and Spore. It was devastating for the VGC. What's cool is that Foongus and Amoonguss switches out their Pokeball colors to a purple version of it, and I can't express just how awesome it is really seeing another Pokeball-like variant even though it's a part of Amoonguss's design. It's still cool to see. I want to express just how nice it is seeing a deep purple color instead of a higher or lower saturated purple. This makes Amoonguss and Foongus this almost ambient or vaporwave aesthetic kind of like look to it, which I think is super dope. For anyone who's searching for grass type Pokemon, this is def 1 to shiny hunt, and with it being in Scarlet and Violet, it's definitely a Pokemon to have in any collection or just to show off. Number 5. Jellicent is one of my favorite Pokemon. Its female and male forms are so good, and I love the colors, so finding out that they have 4 shinies is just insane. One for the female Frillish, it has a scarlet pink, and the male is this turquoise green. And when it evolves into Jellicent, the female turns purple, and the male is still that turquoise green. This entire line is so unique, with its genders giving it alternate forms. One thing that I like is the fact that there are 4 shinies, 2 different furlish colors, and 2 Jellicent. Just that alone is so worth in terms of hunting, because it takes a while to shiny hunt just in general. So this would be a good hunt for anyone who wants a little bit of a intermediate shiny hunt. Overall, the color of the shiny Pokemon are just so good, and it should be definitely talked about more. If you're ever trying to hunt a water type Pokemon, I think Jellicent is a good Pokemon to hunt and to add to any competitive team or shiny collection. Number 4. In Generation 5, one of the coolest shinies I've seen is the Haxorus line. I think everyone arguably agrees that black and red shinies are pretty good, and you get that with Haxorus. Even though Haxorus isn't the strongest dragon type out there, still having a black dragon with red horns and claws is just really sick and gives off like this shadow Pokemon look. On top of having a cool stage 3 shiny, Fracture and X, you have some pretty cool shinies as well. Fracture switches out all its red accents to the sky blue color, and for X, it gets a little darker and has a nice saturated purple color instead of its standard green color. For me, this Pokemon, it's just cool to have, and I know that Axew and Fracture shinies aren't the best in the world, but I think that they're aesthetically pleasing somewhat alongside Haxorus Jet Black shiny. It's a super cool for any team or any collection, and that's why it comes to the number 4 spot. Number 3. In the number 3 spot of this shiny list is Golett and Golurk. These shinies, in my opinion, are just super cool. I really love the fact that this line, the colors stay the same through evolution. Its standard muted sea green gets replaced by this green-gray color, and its dark cyan colors gets replaced by a darker blackish blue color with this neon green accents. This is a super cool looking shiny Pokemon, and it's one of my favorites. For a ghost type Pokemon, it's pretty saucy, and I think it's a good addition to any collection or even on your team. It may not be the craziest or stronger Pokemon, but I think it is very underrated. Number 2. For the number 2 spot, we have the Pawniard line. It's so sick that the entire generation line is this cobalt blue with yellow and gold accents, making it such a cool blue shiny Pokemon. Generation 5, it was only Pawniard and Bishop, but with the introduction of Generation 9, we also finally get Bishop's evolution Kingambit, which I wanted to shout out in this section. It shares the same color scheme as Pawniard and Bisharp, but with its bits of red mixed in there. Pawniard is definitely a Pokemon that's worth hunting. Just like Golurk, its shiny stays with it through evolution. It has a nice and shiny cobalt blue with this vibrant yellow eyes. It's a perfect mix of colors for it to be on this list. Number 1. So normally for the number 1 spot, I put a Pokemon you can normally obtain, but I really like Shiny Victini a lot, and Shiny Victini is shiny locked, so there's no way of getting it legally. But I do want to take the time to admire how cool the shiny really is. It normally has yellowish fur for its body, but shiny switches that out for white while still retaining the color of its V crest and paws alongside keeping its original eye color. To me, this is really cool because I feel like we really barely get to see white shiny Pokemon, so for me it's one of the few super cool ones. I really hope Game Freak in the future releases an event because I would love to hunt for one, and I think a lot of people would hunt for one as well. And that's it for my top 10 shiny Pokemon for Generation 5. If you guys liked the video, make sure to hit the like button or dislike button and let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Hit that sub button because we're on the road to 4K subscribers, and hit the bell icon so you guys don't miss another video. Anyways, thanks for watching. This is me, your boy Dragon Masters 525, aka Keon of the Rocket Hideout, signing out.